considering that Liverpool did not have a recognised striker as much, and the second half performance, Liverpool clearly were better side in the second half. Were you happy with the result and the performance?
No, definitely with the performance, to a certain extent also with the result, because Arsenal is having a great season domestically and also in Europe. So you know how hard it is to even get a result against them, let alone to win. So that's why, to a certain extent, you're positive about the result. I think in the first half they had much more ball possession than us. Although in some spells of the game you could already see how well we can play the ball out from the back and how many times we could play through them. But they were more dominant, were a few times very dangerous over their right side with Timber and Saka. But that to not much more than crosses. And in the second half, I think we defended a little bit better in their first build-up. So that made it more difficult for them to dominate as much as they did in the first half. And we were even better on the ball, or we did similar things like the parts in the first half to dominate. But yeah, from all that ball possession, and that's not something new for someone who follows Liverpool, you're hoping for more chance creation. And we were a lot of times very close shots, decision making in the end. But yeah, hit the bar in the first half. Just not enough to score a goal.
Hi Arne. Do you think it's acceptable that Gabriel Martinelli shot Conor Bradley when they did?
No, I got the same question just a second ago. I don't know Gabriel Martinelli, but he comes across as a nice guy. And I think the problem for him is, and that's a problem in general in football, that there is so much time wasting and players pretending that they are injured in the final parts of the game or during the game, that you can then sometimes be annoyed if you want to score a goal that you think that player is time wasting. And I cannot ask from Gabriel Martinelli in 94 minutes when it's so emotional for him to understand that he plays Liverpool, that is a team when they are being hold against, which was the game against Leeds United, and we don't even go to the floor if we play West Ham United, and Paqueta tries everything to do to get a second yellow card, that my players try to drag him out. You cannot expect from Martinelli that he thinks so clear in 94th minute. So I'm 100% sure that if he knew what the injury might be, that he would never do that. And but it doesn't look great if he has the injury, which we fear he might have, of course. But football, time wasting, diving has come to the situation that players think in the 94th minute that probably that is happening again, because I've seen it happening against us so many times this season that I can understand that Martinelli might have thought that this was time wasting as well, and he couldn't thought about this is Liverpool. They don't do this. I don't know yet, but it didn't look great if you have to go off on a stretcher. And I think we could both, when we see the video, we both think probably the same. But yeah, we have to wait on the scans if it's that bad, or maybe he can play on Monday. Let's hope so.
Well, I mean, that was actually the only substitution we made. So
yeah.
That probably, when you look at Arsenal's bench and the 5 players they brought on, that sort of tells you a lot about where the two teams are.
I think there are other things to talk about where both teams are at the moment than talking about the bench. I think we showed today that, and not for the first time, by the way, this season, that again in the big games we're able to compete with any other team, and I think we've had result against almost any team, any big team that we've played, except for Man City, where it was of course so obvious that we scored the 1-1, but the only ones who didn't thought that was obvious was the referee and the VAR. So that's the only game where we were, which we've lost by 3-0. For all the other games, I think we showed home against Arsenal, away against Arsenal, that we can compete with any other team. The question then, of course, is why you're 14 points behind them. And for me, that's also so obvious, because we struggle so much against low blocks to unlock that. And as you all know, sitting here, that there's 20 goals difference between them and us in set pieces. So, but again, in both games, I think we've shown now that both teams are really strong and very competitive against each other. We won it because of a free kick at Anfield. And today there wasn't a moment like that, so that's why it ended 0-0.
Yes. Did you the tweak kind of been at half time, or was it a case of just growing confidence?
No, like I said, I think the way we pressed their two centre backs and their number 6 was better in the second half than in the first half. That's why we could regain ball possession faster in the second half, the first half, and they couldn't come as far at around our box than in the first half. But maybe the main thing was that we had the ball also for long spells, and then when they kicked it away, we could pick it up again and start playing again. But credits to Arsenal as well, the way they defended their box. I think we had 5, 6 or 7 shots, mainly from Dominic Szoboszlai, and he has a good shot, I can tell you. And one shot I thought might have gone in, but then, of course, Gabriel blocked it with his body forward and his leg. So they're good in so many things, including box defending, that it's so difficult to get a result against them. But we managed to do so.
Hi, Arne. After a good performance like this one, what can you build on the next games? You have a game against a non-top team coming up. What can you build on this?
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that people think this is a good performance, because when we have 60 or 70% ball possession against other teams, people find it boring. And now it's a good performance, but again, we hardly created a chance. And now we say, what a performance. This is who we are. We can dominate ball possession. We know how to do build-up. We know how, but we struggle obviously in a few things. And set piece is one of them. Dominating moments when we're in the final third, then to find the right pass, the right execution. That is something that's still not at the level some other teams are, and that's why we are working every single day. But yes, we did really well in ball possession. But for me, it wasn't that much different than playing Leeds at home or Fulham away, where we dominated ball possession as well. But then people are annoyed by the fact, because these teams are not of the magnitude of Arsenal, then it's not good enough. Which I completely agree on, by the way, because I want to see us creating more chances as well.
Well done. Move on to the balance and preview.